Hello everyone, this is Professor Hazel S. Matthias from the Department of Mathematics, Vishwanatha Deshpande Institute of Technology, Haliyad. In the previous class, we were discussing about students' T distribution, how to test the significance level using students' T distribution. We have discussed about this in the previous section, and we have discussed few examples based on this distribution and to test the significance level. So today's class, let's discuss about chi-square test, what are the uses, and let's discuss few examples on this topic. Let's begin today's class. So suppose we will discuss what do you mean by chi-square test. When a fair coin is tossed 80 times, we expect from theoretical considerations that heads will appear 40 times and tails 40 times, half of the times, because the ratio is 1:2. So now, but this never happens in practice. That is, the result obtained in an experiment do not agree exactly with the theoretical result. So when a coin is tossed 80 times, our assumptions that half of the time it will show us the head, half of the time it will show us the tail. But when we do it practically, it will not happen most of the time. So we have the discrepancy over here, magnitude of discrepancy between the observation and theory. So that discrepancy between the magnitude of observation and theory is given by this quantity chi-square. And if this chi-square is equal to 0, the observed and theoretical frequencies completely agree. As the value of chi-square increases, the discrepancy between the observed and theoretical frequencies increases. So what do you mean by chi-square? What is this quantity chi-square we have discussed? Because suppose there is always a difference between the theoretical and the practiced values. So practical values and the theoretical values. The magnitude of discrepancy between the practical and the observed values, that quantity is given by chi-square. If that chi-square is 0, the observed and theoretical frequencies completely agree. Suppose they are not, the chi-square is not equal to 0. It may happen that chi-square increases. That means the difference between the observed and theoretical frequency also increases. So let's discuss about the definition. How is it defined as? If U1, O2, etc. On be a set of observed frequencies and E1, E2, etc. En be the corresponding set of expected frequencies, then chi-square is defined by the relation chi-square is equal to O1 minus E1 whole square by E1 plus O2 minus E2 whole square by E2 plus etc. On minus En whole square divided by En. In other words, you can write it as summation over OI minus EI whole square divided by EI with n minus 1 degrees of freedom. Suppose if there are n frequencies, n observations, n minus 1 is the degree of freedom. Summation OI is same as summation EI, where n is the total frequency. Now let's discuss about chi-square distribution. If x1, x2, etc. xn be n independent normal variates with mean 0 and standard deviation unity, then it can be shown that x1 square plus x2 square plus xn square is a random variate having chi-square distribution. So the equation for the chi-square curve is given by y is equal to y0 into e power minus chi square by 2 into chi square power v minus 1 by 2, where v is n minus 1. Let's discuss about properties of chi-square distribution. If v is equal to 1, so here the curve is given, if v equal to 1, the chi-square, here this chi-square 2 reduces to, suppose if this v is equal to 1, then this quantity reduces to y equal to y0 into e power minus chi square by 2, which is an exponential distribution, and this is the curve of the exponential distribution. Suppose if v is greater than 1, then the curve is tangential to the x-axis at the origin and is positively skewed as the mean at V and mode is at V minus 2. So you can look over here. Suppose if V is greater than 1, the curve is tangential to x-axis. This x-axis, it is tangential to x-axis at the origin and is positively skewed as the mean is at V and mode is at V minus 2. Now the probability that the value of chi-square from a random sample will exceed chi-naught square. It is given by probability chi-naught square to infinity. Suppose if the random sample exceed chi-naught square, it may go up to infinity. It is given by p equal to chi-naught square to infinity y dx. The values of chi-naught square have been tabulated for different values of p and you can find this in the table. Let's discuss about goodness of fit, why this quantity is required, why this chi-square quantity is required. The value of chi-square is used to test whether the deviations of the observed frequencies from the expected frequencies are significant or not. Which of the frequencies, whether the observed frequencies or the practical frequencies, which of them are significant. So it is also used to test how will a set of observations fit a given distribution. So there are different observations how it will fit a given distribution. Therefore chi-square, it provides us a test of goodness of fit and may be observed to examine the validity of some hypothesis about an observed frequency distribution. As a test of goodness of fit, it can be used to study the correspondence between the theory and fact. This chi-square is a non-parametric distribution. It tests since in this we make no assumption about the distribution to the parent population. So let's discuss how to test the significance and goodness of fit. So first we set up a null hypothesis and calculate the quantity chi-square, that is given by summation OI minus EI whole square divided by EI. If the degrees of freedom and read the corresponding values of chi-square at a prescribed significance level from the table V. Table V is that values where we have all the different values for corresponding degrees of freedom. From chi-square table, we can also find probability P corresponding to the calculated values of chi-square for the given degrees of freedom. And these three are the conclusions we can make using that. Suppose if P value is less than 0.05, the observed value of chi-square is significant at 5% level of significance. If P is less than 0.01, the value is significant at 1% level. If P is greater than 0.05, it is a good fit and value is not significant. These are the three conclusions we can make using the probability value. So let's discuss few examples. A die is thrown 264 times and the number appearing on the face follows the following frequency distribution. So frequency distribution is given, we have to calculate the value of chi-square. Now the frequencies in the given data are the observed frequencies. These are the observed frequencies. Assuming that the dice is unbiased and expected number of frequencies from the number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to appear on the faces 264 divided by 6 because a die is thrown 264 times and it has the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So suppose what you can calculate the theoretical value, it is 264 divided by 6. Exactly equally all the dice show their face. So if it is thrown 264 times and there are 6 faces, so each time this is the theoretical value. We can find the theoretical value by dividing 264 by 6. We will get 44 each. That means each face may appear 44 times when you toss a die, when you throw a die 264 times, each of the time 44 times each of the face may appear. This is the theoretical value. So now the data is as follows. See, these are the observed frequencies. This is the theoretical frequency, because there is a chance that it may happen exactly 44 times each of the face is thrown when a dice is thrown. So observed frequencies are given already in the table. This is the theoretical frequency, which is 44. Now we calculate the quantity chi square, that is summation OI minus EI whole square divided by EI. So here is OI minus EI, 40 minus 44 whole square by 44 plus 32 minus 44 whole square by 44. Similarly for each of the values, 28 minus 44 whole square by 44 plus 58 minus 44 whole square by 44 plus 54 minus 44 whole square by 44 plus 60 minus 44 whole square by 44. So these are the values which we have to calculate. So hence we get the chi-square value as 22. So we have calculated the magnitude and discrepancies between the observed and the theoretical values. Let's discuss the next one. 5 dice were thrown 96 times and the numbers 1, 2 or 3 appearing on the face of the dice follows the frequency distribution as follows. So here the frequency distribution is given. Dice was thrown 96 times and the numbers appearing 1, 2, 3, it is given over here. How many times the number showing 5 appears, all those things are given. So test the hypothesis that the data follows a binomial distribution and chi-square value at 0.05 is 11.07 for 5 degrees of freedom. Now the data gives us the observed frequencies. We need to calculate the theoretical frequencies. Now probability, the dice showing 1, 2 or 3. The probability of a single dice throwing 1, 2 or 3 is given by C. Either you have to get 1, 2 or 3. When you throw a dice, 6 possibilities are there, in which the favorable cases are 3, 1, 2 and 3. So our probability is 3 by 6, which is nothing but half. Therefore Q is 1 minus P, which is nothing but half. We have discussed about this binomial distribution. Binomial distribution of it is given by n equal to P plus Q whole power n. N is 96 because a die is thrown 96 times. P and Q value is half power n. So let's continue what we have. The theoretical frequency is getting 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0 successes with 5 dice are respectively the successive terms of the binomial expansion. So it is respectively given by. Now we have to find the theoretical frequencies. There are 96 times a die was thrown. So it is 96 into, you have over here 1 by 2 power 5, half times 1 by 2 power 5. Next time the probability of happening of, suppose if you take 0, so it is 5C0, 96 into 1 by 2 power 5, a comma 96 into 5C1 into 1 by 2 power 5, comma 96 into 5C2 into 1 by 2 power 5, comma 96 into 5C3 into 1 by 2 power 5. It is like choosing. There are 0, 1, 2, 3, etc. This is the theoretical frequencies of getting 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0 successes with 5 dice are respectively, because here it is given that 5 dice were thrown 96 times. 5 dice were thrown 96 times. That's why we are doing this. Out of that 5, suppose if we choose none of them, suppose if we choose 1 of them, 2 of them, 3 of them, 4 of them, 5 of them, what is the theoretical frequencies we are calculating, etc. up to last one. 5C5 into 96 into 1 by 2 power 5, 5C5 is 1 as 5C0. So now when we calculate all these things, we get 3, 15, 30, 30, 15, 3. These are the theoretical frequencies. From the table we have the observed frequencies and we calculated the theoretical frequencies over here. So we write 3, 15, 30, 30, 15 and 3. Now let's calculate the quantity chi square. It is given by summation OI minus EI whole square by EI. So 7 minus 3 whole square by 3, 19 minus 15 square by 15, 35 minus 30 square by 30, 24 minus 30 square by 30, 8 minus 15 whole square by 15, 3 minus 3 whole square. So on calculating, we'll get the chi-square quantity as 11.07, which is greater than the actual value in the table, that is chi-square at 0.05 value, which is 11.07, but calculated value is 11.7. Thus the hypothesis that the data follows a binomial distribution is rejected, because the value what we got is greater than 11.07. So if you have any doubt, you can contact me. For more reference, you can refer P.S. Grewal Higher Engineering Mathematics textbook. Thank you.